Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, professionals. If you are into IT development, today we'll be looking into a quick concept which is widely used these days in software programming. It's a very short video, but it is important to understand its importance. We'll be learning DTO today whenever we, as a developer, whenever we code. So this supports mostly all programming language like TypeScript, Nest.js, Java, Python. Most famous, most used programming. This concept is available. So this is not a must-do way, but it is always used in production level, mostly recommended production level work. So what we are learning today, we'll be learning data transfer object. It's a quick video. Let's learn it. So whenever I'll show you, I'm working in a project, and I'll show you where I've implemented it, and I think it's the right time that if you know it, it's awesome. But if you're hearing it to the first time or interested to know, then this is will be very helpful. Okay, let's start. So what is a DTO? See, will be using this is common for everything, any programming language. Java, mostly used in Java, Spring Boot microservice. Python it is used. With TypeScript it is used for JavaScript developers, like for me. And let's do step by step. Understand step by step. So what is DTO? The DTO are class or interface that has specific data key in it. I'll try to explain in a real world way. So this is my Postman. So this is a backend. I'm working on a backend feature, backend development. So whenever we send data, see, there are a lot of requests that we send, right? This is especially for the request in which we have body. For example, post request, batch request, those type of request where we send some data. Okay. So whenever we send some data along with the request, now we can send two data. I am suppose not a developer now. I'm a layman. I can send another data XYZ, PQR. So unwanted number of data can be sent to there. So what I'm trying to say is DTO is a reference. A DTO is a specific shape of the data which is accepted. For example, so today if I'm developing an application where I'm trying to build create a task. Task is just a to-do list where I'm adding my task. So what it requires now currently, give me the title, give me the description, these two field. Speaking from a very uh, beginner level uh, project, but what I'm trying to say is suppose you have developed whatever is required based on the current now suppose 3 months later, 5 months later, you have a new requirement. So this works in a that fashion. Request goes to the controller, decorator, controller goes to the service, and likewise flows. So we do not have to change everything. So suppose tomorrow a new requirement comes, Mohammed, we need to add this created add, unity add, modified add, and many number. You know that as our application grows, number of data keys, or even suppose this changes, name also changes. Suppose a key is manipulated. Suppose it is changed to DESC, can be anything. So what I'm trying to say is, so we will not going to change it in a code in every place wherever it is used. So DTO are a special type of, it's a class or interface that has specific data keys in it. So all the incoming data which will come to our application will must have that flash. We can add, obviously add optional parameter or mandatory parameter over there, but no additional unnecessary data we can say. So suppose in future, so this is an example of a DTO. So this is standard. By standard we mean it is a way in which it is used in accepted in production level coding. So we write over here this things to be accepted. If it is an optional field, we add a question mark. Just that. We will see in code right now. Just in a minute. So why use DTO? There is a two simple reason. There are more reason, but these are the two basic reason that we should use. No repeated code, multiple file. So whenever I'll show you my code structure now. We are in Nest.js. So Nest.js is a another framework, second framework of Node.js. We know that Express is widely used, so Nest.js is another framework of Node.js. So how we normally when we write a code, you are a Java person, Python person, PHP person, any programming language which you work with. So how we work, like we have Laravel where we write controller. We know the same way follow in most programming language. So we define route here, correct? So this is a controller. Don't go by the syntax. See, suppose if you are not a, this code is written in typescript format. So this is for JavaScript related format. But if you are a Java person, just understand the concept. So I'll try to write a comment over here. Okay. This simply means a localhost slash task. Correct. So this means this much. Now suppose if we are going to write a post request. So as I told you that DTO deals with a specific type of data incoming request. So this is body. So whenever we write code, we get the body data using request.body in regular programming way, request.body, and whatever is passed over here, right? We can get title, we can get description or description. We comment this. So it's just a simple thing. So in TypeScript, what we do is that we check the type, right? Okay, this guy should be a string, this guy should be a number. So ID over here, ideally we have ID as a string format. It should be of type string. So now what we do? It is specific to all programming language. So wherever we write code, this is our module. In our case, this task is a module. We have our files over here, right? Controller, service, the regular code which we have, controller, the way code travels over here. So what we do over here is we create a directory called DTO. The way I am doing is the mostly used DTO, and inside that per request the type of we create the DTO files. So it's nothing. So if you go inside it, it's just a class, but it's standard. By standard we mean this is the way it is expected in companies and production level code, correct? So for example, you have defined a object, this class. It should have this title, description. If tomorrow a requirement comes, by tomorrow you can say after a year, Amir, please add this guy created by, and this should be, I'll make it string for now, created by, created by, correct? So this is a detail. So shape of the arc, and if you say okay, description should be optional, we may or we may not pass. So I can write this also. So what I'm trying to do over here is we have modified over here our shape, incoming request structure we have defined, and the actual place where we are using is this guy. We are in controller file, and in controller file this is our post request. So what basically we are doing, ID should be of type string. What we'll do, that incoming body. So this is actually a decorator, no need to go into that. Just think like this is the what do you say, this guy holds this data, whatever we are passing, title, description, etc. We have data over here, so this should be of type this TTO, the TTO which we have created over. So now when we try to do things like, okay, let me try. So I've added created by, okay, I saved it. So now what I'm trying to say is your types will throw error, correct? So now this time non-error will not come, it will accept only the data which you have applied. For example, over here, what I should have done is over here also added a exception handler, right? So suppose if it is not here, throw the error. So what basically we are doing, if this comes, otherwise your terminal will break. Suppose let me kill my terminal. Okay. So this is something different. So I have to kill my port. Uh, I have my so I'm just restarting my node server. Already taken the port. If I'm killing the port and restarting, this time it will start. You can see my nest is up, my nodejs is up. So this is the simple concept for this behind the scene. So how developer think from a standard accepted in production. So what was my aim for today's video was C. So wherever you are working in JavaScript, you are working in Java, you are working in Python, PHP, your favorite language. So what I'm trying to say is these days every language is holds this modular concept, right? Component based approach. When last I was working with PHP, I know that in Laravel also it works the same way. So if we go to our module, so likewise in production real-time application, we have number of modules over there. So what I'm trying to say is in every folder we created DTO. DTO by data transfer object, it simply means it is having, so whatever you are sending must match this. Otherwise we can suppose in future we require more data, we can add over there simply, and in the controller wherever we are using. For example, over here if we have added two more title created by, updated by, in controller we come over here, this is my controller. From here controller we go to a service, so two new field is just added here, other way, created by, we can add it simply over here. So we basically what we are doing, we are trying not to mess the code, production code, just add in a place, fetch from a place. So instead what how we used to do earlier, we have to write here each parameter over here and fetch it. So I think covered most of it, and that's all for today's video, guys. The my aim was that you should know, if you know DTO, good. If you have not used DTO yet, so this is a concept being used widely. So it is not a mandatory way, but what I've seen so far, that it is a good practice to have it. It has an added advantage. So shape of the your data is controlled. We cannot just write the parameter in every place in a code. We write in a place and fetch it. Alright, that's all for this video, guys. Hope you've learned something new.